Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of the Mxgp 21 career mode. Now I've made the adjustments I forgot to make in episode 1. So what I've actually done is I've shortened the races. So it'll be 5 minutes plus 2 laps. I found with the first one I had to cut a lot out of each race. A lot of just me riding really. And I felt like even at that the video is still a pretty decent length. So if I go for shorter races I can include more action and have an equal length video. Now I have for practice on, so we'll do some practice, do it off camera just to get familiar with the bike and track, and jump into qualifying then, and you'll see from there on. I've also customized my rider, got a helmet on, set of goggles and stuff, so it won't look so generic. But yeah, it is time for round 2. We're off to Great Britain to Matterley Basin, a track I know well, but not a track I like, so we're going to see. It's going to be a difficult one, but we'll give it our all. Anyway, let's jump over to Great Britain. So only 2 episodes in and we've already hit our first major glitch with this game. So I set it to have practice on and qualifying, and you might notice we are now in what appears to be race 1, which is actually race 2 of 3. I know, it's getting confusing. So I went into practice normal, did a bit of practice, then ended the session expecting to go to qualifying. Qualifying came, went, I wasn't involved, I didn't get the memo, I wasn't invited, probably for the best, I probably wouldn't have done anything anyway. But I got put into race 1, which isn't even the race you're watching now. Did race 1, came 7th, pretty average race, pretty exactly the same as round 1. Got a good start, got away, and then just held up the eye for the whole race. And then went to go to race 2. That was grand. Did race 2, and then realised at the end of race 2, it was after recounting race 2 as race 1. And this is race 2 I've raced in, but it's actually the first one of the weekend because the first one was voided for some reason. So it's like they replaced qualifying with another race, but that race doesn't come for anything. So, yeah. But anyway, we are in P2. Renoir just crashed out in front of us. There's a big issue with this game at the moment. Now, it might be due to the fact I'm on a lower bike, but it's not really just a bike, it's more of a physics. The AI have superior grip in every situation, every condition, almost all tracks. Now, some of the soft pack and the sand tracks, you seem to be able to just about keep up with them. But in these ones where you've kind of ruts and bumps and all these little, when the bike is skitterish and stuff, the AI are just not phased at all. They don't give a crap. You'll see at the end of the race my lap time versus the riders in front, and we are way off it. We're in P4 now here. We've got 2.5 minutes left in the race, and that is Viala, who's pretty low down the field. He's up, he's taken P4 back to P5. We kind of try and fight him, but he just has so much more edge grip and corner speed and could just put the power down where I'm just slip sliding. I'm trying in race 2. You'll see I don't try as hard because in here I'm making lots of mistakes. I'm trying to override and I'm on the limit of crashing everywhere. As you can see there, big mistake. And again, that's just, again, I'm trying to ride so aggressively to keep with them, and it just isn't a viable option on this game at the moment. Now, I have been told that when you get a better bike it gets better. As you see, again, a big mistake for myself. Just the physics, kind of forgetting what was going on for a while. Now, I am enjoying this game a lot, but the career mode is a bit frustrating. Now, every milestone game, not just Mxgp, crashed back there for Sander in P7, so he's actually somewhere pretty close to in the championship, so it looks like he's going to be the one we're fighting. But back to the milestone issue, every career mode game I've played on them, when you start off in career mode, whether it's a real team like this bike IT Kawasaki, or if you're in Moto 3 or whatever, the lower categories, the AI are always quicker because they don't have as much power in the lower categories, obviously, but they give them superior grip and cornering abilities. It was a big issue in GP20 in the Moto 3. The Moto 3 could go around the corners just like flat out like Speedway, and you physically could not do that with a Moto 3 bike like that. It was so frustrating to race against. And it seems to be an issue as well. I say it's an issue, definitely is an issue this, because the AI have superior grip in all situations. I'm going through long corners. You can see coming into this final lap here now, that last corner there, I'm waiting for the bike to get turned to put the power down, whereas the AI are just pinned. And you'll see, I think it's on this last lap here. Actually, no, it's in the next race. I try and slide the bike on the last lap like they do, and it just completely goes from underneath me and I nearly fall. And there's actually a crash up ahead for the leaders. So even the leaders have some issues with the bumps, but the way they ride is just not the way we can. I have to be so more careful and delicate of the terrain and stuff. You can see, look at it in there, we get it all in up in a heap. We're in P6 at the moment. There's another Kawasaki trying to fight us. Just about get a good enough corner there to stay ahead. About half a lap remaining now. My lap times as well is a big issue. If you see my lap times afterwards, some of the AI are 12 seconds faster than me. That's nothing down to me not being good with the game. That's just the game not being consistent with the player and the AI. So I will be trying as soon as possible to move to a higher rated team, better bike. Hopefully that will fix some of the issues. Now some tracks are better for it than others. Russia and the United Kingdom so far have been good tracks either way, so that is a bit of an issue. So we're going to have to push hard for the next few rounds. We're probably not going to do very well in the championship in the opening few rounds until we get some, basically a better team. Like that triple there, or double I should say, I absolutely struggle with that every time. But when the air are near you, it does like a weird, the bike performs better. But anyway, end of race 1 almost, and we're in P6. So again, we just kind of get in front of them. If you look at the mini map in the bottom left, you can see there's just a gaggle of riders sitting comfortably behind me, and you'll see the lap times in a minute as well. Their lap times are pretty slow when they're behind me because they can't just motor through me. I block them in most places. But the AI, when they pass you, they just absolutely check out like nobody's business. But last sector now, 2 corners remaining, and we actually just here almost lose the front. That could have been catastrophic for our race. Joint best result, P6 across the line. Not bad, but not great. So you can see my fast lap, 2:17. Everyone in front of me was 10 seconds quicker. Riders behind then are a second, half second quicker, which is fair. Now there is people at the back who are slower, and I probably could beat them, but it would sacrifice my championship a lot, but I'd like to start last and stay last and see, can I pass people, or is it just that they're being held up? So you can see that was the second race, and that counts as race 1 for some reason. So yeah, here we are now though for race 2, and it is raining. That is not a good sign, because in the wet, in the Mxgp games, you just have inherently less grip than the AI. Matter of fact, the AI are going as fast in this race in the wet as I could go in the dry. There's just a serious disconnect between the game's physics and what's going on. Once again, horrific launch. And we do try cut to the inside, and it does kind of work. We almost get the whole shot, but I can't put the power down, and it ends up being Gertz who just pips me for the whole shot. So again, have not yet to get into the lead. I've seen other content creators take a really weird opening sector to get the lead to make sure that they can stay in front. You can see already there, just in a split second, he disappeared. This is the start of lap 2, and he's not even in shot, like one lap, and he's pulled acres on me. You can see the lack of grip. You can hear the bike spinning. Gifting there has just gone around the outside like I was standing still. Again, just looking at the minimap, there's just a train of riders behind me. They do struggle to pass, which is my only saving grace. If I wasn't a rolling chicane, I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd probably be last every race. Now, I'm not the greatest MXG player, and I am getting used to it. And again, the bike is a lower category bike, but this shouldn't be this complex. It's just there's a serious disadvantage for being the player in this game. The AI are just, they don't abide to the physics that I abide to, and that's what the issue is really. And the game is out long enough now should be fixed. A lot of you might have seen Rob46 has basically given up on the game after 1 season, and yeah, he was complaining for other reasons too about the game, hitting random objects that are invisible in the screen and issues like that. So the game is quite rough in its current state. But here we are now, just coming up to the end of the race, and we have 2 laps remaining. We make a small mistake on entry. Just look at the extra height Renault can get compared to me. I have a big one with them because I just can't put the power down like him, and it's blatantly obvious that we're struggling here. So that was the podium gone. We were holding him up plentiful, but unfortunately, like, look on, if you don't know the track you won't know, but look how far away we are from the finish, and the leader has gone to start the 2 laps remaining. We've still half a lap, 20-30 seconds of this track left. Like, it's ridiculous how when they're out on their own they can just do stupidly fast times. So we've Sander now tucked up on our back wheel, again just sliding out of the ruts there, no grip. As the track gets deformed as well, we have a much harder time keeping our lines. Just keep it here on the inside, again drifting wide, and they look like they're just sitting there. It looks like they're on a out lap of a GP game. It's very odd, but look at the extra height and drive. And again, I just looked over my shoulder there a second, you can see all the riders. Sander then just drives around the outside, but I managed to cut his nose again. But I'm in 4th gear, half revs, and it's just there's no grip. I can't get the bike to grip. I've played with settings a bit, but I haven't really been able to get anything to work. But once again, look, there's about 8 riders sitting on my back wheel as we start the final 2 laps. So I don't feel like I'm riding that bad. I'm actually riding a bit off my limit. In this race I found that I was like, it's better if I just kind of take it down a notch, because I felt like I was going to have a crash at some stage. I really felt like that I was on the limit. And in the wet it's a bit more slippery, less grip, more bumps again, as the track doesn't fully reset between races. So yeah, I don't know what to do really. It's a bit of a conundrum. I do hope that the Kawasaki is the issue. I did play with other people online, and it looks like the Kawasaki is probably one of the worst bikes, which is ironic. So I will be looking to get off it in the future, maybe in the next episode even, but I don't know yet. I don't want to go from, I don't want to take a sideways step. I'd like to make a decent jump forward in the performance, just to be able to battle these guys. But I feel like the only way I can win races in this game, as is current stand, there's what I was on about. See, I tried to drift it like they do, and the rear end just let go completely. That completely sacrificed my drive through here. Lose 2 positions, 1-2 beaten and 1-2 the other Kawasaki man. And that time then, when the AI are there, I can triple it, but I can't when I'm on my own for some reason. So I don't understand. It's like when the AI are next to you, have grip, and oh, I don't know. It's just very odd. It's as if, like, when you're on the same piece of track as them, you get their physics, but as soon as they pull away a split, you're back to whatever the game wants you to ride on, which isn't the same as them. So very frustrating, because I enjoy the physics of this game somewhat, and I like the way the bike slides down. I like the difficulty of it. I do love motocross as well, so it's good to have a good motocross game, but unfortunately this isn't a good one at the minute. If the AI were as bad as I were, I'd love it even more, because it would be really gritty and good racing, but it's just not. Now we lose another position to Ruben Fernandez, so we're down to P7. So again, P6, P7 is where we're at usually, but I don't think we can hold on again. I don't know what the bike tried to do there when I left the jump. On to the last lap, and we have hungry riders behind us. And again, I'm just trying everything on this bike to get some rare traction. It seems okay when you have momentum, but when you power out of a corner, you just lose all your momentum, and it just doesn't seem to have any pull. I've yet to ride a 450 in this game, in the Mxgp class, so I'd like to, maybe between episodes, just look at that. Like, it's just, I'm spinning and spinning and spinning, and he just drives past me as if he's on perfectly good tarmac. So stuck in the mud is what this episode's going to be called, and you can see why. So we drop now out of the top 8. Will we even be able to keep in the top 10? I'm not too sure. My pace is that bad. You can see there 2:12.8 for the fastest lap. That's faster than I was going in race 1. I really don't know where the pace is or how to get extra pace out of it. I've seen other content creators that I believe I'll be better than, and they're much quicker than me, so I maybe think it's Kawasaki. So I am again going to see, can I get off the Kawasaki ASAP and see, can we get a higher ranked team, because in the past the GP game, the Mxgp games I should say, they've been quite similar to that. Once you kind of get a better team, you do start to have better physics. But again, another mistake in there, that corner, it's like the penultimate corner, it's a pang, go out wide, and it's actually Viale who's down right at the end of his pack. And he triples it. I can't. I doubled the second part, but again, it's too little too late. Just half a lap remaining. Gert's double, just run wide there, almost into the advertising board. It's going to be P10 at best. We're just taking so gingerly through this last sector. I just want to get to the line at this point without making any more mistakes. But even at that, it looks like we're going to get past again. But for now, we're just about keeping them behind. And I change up my riding style so much in these races to see can I get some better performance out of the bike. Again, losing the rear completely there. Short there, big mistake. Are we going to lose P10? I think so. Just look at the grip, none of it. Up to the line, it's going to be P10. Disappointment. 2 minute 27 on the last lap. That's, I'd say, probably 15 seconds slower than DI at some points. Yeah, some of them are down to 2:11s. Fastest lap for me is a 2:26. So there's just a clear, I've said it 100 times in the video, I don't need to say it again. There's a clear disconnect between the AI and the rider, the player. So yeah, and even they were saying with their qualifying times are just stupidly fast. So it's not that they're too good, it's that they have different physics, and that's what annoys me. If I was slow, I could deal with it, but the fact that I can see them not cheating per se, but just being allowed to have better grip. Next up is Mxgp in Italy, a track I do like. Will it be on the Kawasaki? I don't know, but I will promise you I'll try my hardest to get a better result in the next one. But thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next episode.